Hey, it's Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's Teresa from Life Beyond Diabetes. And I want to tell you about something that happened to me the other day. I have been working out on my patio, getting it ready for this summer. Because as I've mentioned, I'm planning to spend a lot of time on the patio this summer since we won't be going a lot of places while there's risk of getting ill being out among people. So I was out working on the patio, moving furniture, doing some pressure washing, which, by the way, pressure washing, my new favorite thing to do, super satisfying. If you haven't tried it, find something to clean and get a pressure washer. Fantastic, love it, very satisfying. Getting some plants ready to pot, just working really hard, totally in the groove, and all of a sudden I heard this beeping, really loud alarm beep noise. I'm like, what in the world? And I realized it was my continuous glucose monitor telling me that not only was I trending low, but that I was having an urgent low that I needed to treat, an urgent low blood sugar that I needed to treat. And what had happened is that I was so much in the groove of getting work done. I was having such a great time rocking out to my Taylor Swift playlist while I was working. And I forgot to eat lunch. And I was exercising. I was doing all this heavy work on my patio. And my blood sugar had fallen. And I was so mad. I was mad at myself for forgetting to take care of myself and my diabetes the way that I needed to. I was mad at the fact that I had diabetes and I had to stop and deal with this. I was mad that I had to stop taking care of my patio. I wanted to finish. I was gonna finish all the work that day. And I just wanted to keep pressure washing. And I didn't just have, like I said, a little low. I had to stop and seriously treat this serious low. And it was one of those lows that, now I know that most people with type 2 diabetes don't get lows like this because I take insulin. So I do, if I'm not paying attention, I get some really serious lows. And I had to stop and treat this low. And I knew, because it was so bad, it was going to take me a couple of hours to recover, and that I may not even physically feel up to getting back to doing my work again that day. And as it turned out, I did not feel physically up to getting back to working on my patio that day. And I stopped what I was doing. I went in and I did what I needed to do to treat my low, and we'll talk about that a different day. But in the midst of all this, I threw a little diabetes tantrum. And I don't know about you, but I do that from time to time. I have a little diabetes tantrum every now and then. And that's the only way I can describe what happens, is that I just get kind of mad at the world and I feel a little bit like a toddler. I just want to throw myself on the ground and kick and scream and yell and say, it's not fair. I don't like this. I want it to be different. And it's, to people who don't live in this world, I don't know if there's any way I can describe it, because I don't feel like it's a pity party. It's not a, you should feel bad for me, life is so awful. But I get so frustrated sometimes that I have this disease that I can never walk away from. And it's always there. And, most of the time, it's okay. I do what I need to do to take care of myself. I do what I need to do to manage it. And I keep going. And it's just part of who I am. It doesn't define me. It doesn't control me. For the most part, I control it. But there's times like this when it just smacks me in the face that I don't get to live life like everybody else because I have diabetes. And I get so mad. And, there's other time, for me right then at that moment, it was a low blood sugar. And there's other times that this has happened. There's times when, I'm trying to get out of the house in the morning and I've got to stop and think, okay, well, gosh, did I pack the right lunch? Am I going to be prepared for what I need to do today? Did I take all my medicines? And then, there's times when I'm like, okay, well, it's so frustrating that I have to check my blood sugar all the time. I have to go to doctor's appointments all the time. There's things that when you have any chronic disease, not just diabetes, but any chronic disease, it takes so much. It takes a lot. It is not just there's a little something that, oh, well, you got to take a little bit of medicine and get on with life. No, it is a large part of your life, and you suddenly have this extra, an extra job that you have to do that becomes, you didn't ask for this extra job. You don't get paid for it. In fact, it can be quite expensive. And again, I'm not saying, have a pity party, but I think it's okay to stop and say, this really, really sucks sometimes. And to say, I don't like it. And also to give yourself credit, because I think that's one of the things that we don't do, is we don't stop and say, hey, you know what? I'm doing something really hard. In addition to living my normal everyday life like everybody around me is doing, I am keeping my head above the water while I am living with this disease that is really hard to manage. So if you feel like having a diabetes tantrum, if you're throwing your diabetes tantrum, knock yourself out. Have your tantrum. And then pick yourself up and keep going. And I will tell you, I will support you through your tantrum. And I'll be there to pick you up when you're done having your tantrum. Help you brush yourself off and keep going. Because we don't wallow, we keep going. And I want to remind you that you've got this. We all do. It's hard. But remembering that it's hard is part of what helps us realize that we're strong and we can do it. So you can do it. You got it. I will see you next Thursday. If you have any questions that you would like me to talk about next Thursday, let me know. I would love for you to tell me in the comments what you throw your diabetes tantrums about, because I'm guessing that if you have diabetes or another chronic disease, every now and then you have a little tantrum too. So be honest, tell me about your tantrums. See you next Thursday. Bye.